You know, here at the DOSStorm Network, it's pretty rare that we ever find anything new in the box. It's getting pretty expensive to ever find anything like that. But today might be the exception because we have this. What a beautiful box this is too. What is it? Well, it's pretty clear what it is because it says sound right on the front of it. And it has all the things that you'd expect a sound card to have, like a piano, a music note, a leaf. So since this is in the box and that's kind of rare, let's do a little unboxing, see what's inside, and then throw it in the test system and play some games with it. So here we have the box in all of its glory with its leaf and leaf reflection for extra quality. But jokes aside, I actually think that this is going to be a pretty decent product because it does have a Yamaha YMF719 in it, which usually Yamaha stuff is fairly decent. So this is made by Eagle, if you can't tell by the equal parts Chinese and Hell Yeah Brother logo that we have there. And they made a bunch of other cards that use different chipsets, but this one in particular is a Yamaha. And the box itself does look like it was on a shelf at some point. There is some fading on it and whatnot, but it should be sort of an open box new kind of thing. I did get this off of eBay, so you know, it could have been used, but as far as I know, this is unused new old stock. But that's enough looking at this beauty's box. I mean, we could look at it all day, but we should probably just open this and see what's inside. So this is our lot inside the package. This is a manual right here, which appears, you know, actually to be a pretty decent manual. You know, you got how to install drivers in here. It also explains the software. There's also some mention of a soft synth, which we'll be checking out. So that's neat. So it obviously has some kind of software wavetable. But onto the card itself. She is looking pretty new. Pretty good looking card. Obviously not a whole lot going on this card. We do have a wavetable header, but we don't have any CD-ROM interface or anything like that. It is an ISA card, which is probably going to yield us better results than the Yamaha XG card did because ISA is usually always better. In the middle is that Yamaha 719 chip with an OPL logo on it. So I'm assuming this is going to be pretty bang on for DOS games. We have a couple of floppy diskettes here as well. One with a Windows 95 and NT driver, another with the Yamaha Station software, and yet another with the Windows 3.1 and DOS driver. Not sure if I'm going to use these disks at all or if I'm just going to find something online, but I will archive them if archive.org lets me upload them. It's been a problem in the past. They keep denying my uploads. I know you guys asked for it, but sometimes archive.org doesn't agree. So yeah, that does it for what's in the box. So let's throw this thing in a test system and have some fun with it. So today we're using the Dell Dimension T600R as our test system. I'm feeling installation is going to be easy on this one, so let's try out these old diskettes with the intended drivers on Windows 95 just for giggles, and then circle back to Windows 98 SE to see how it differs. And for once, I was actually right. The installation for this driver is as simple as it gets. No installer, you just point Windows in the right driver directory on the disk and bam, she just works. As you can see here, this detects as an OPL3 SA based chip. Now, I couldn't find the datasheet for this specific 719 variation, but the datasheet for the older 715 shows that this chip, and I'm assuming others based on it, have built-in OPL3, Sound Blaster, and Windows Sound System support. Interestingly, the sheet also mentions this chip supports interfacing with an optional OPL4. Which, if you're unaware, is an extremely rare chip that uses hybrid FM and sample-based synthesis. I've been looking for a card with one for many years now without much luck, and while they surface on eBay sometimes, they go for ludicrous amounts of money. There are some 719 boards out there with solder pads for an OPL4, and I stumbled on a Vogon's thread about modifying such a card to fit an OPL4. However, it seems like finding donor chips would be a problem. Anyway, with the driver installed on Win95, everything will just work within Windows and DOS without even using a set blaster variable. The exception to this is the Wavetable, which will only work inside of Windows, but that is usually par for the course with software-based solutions. Hey, Future DOS Storm here, just correcting some stuff that I said there that is kind of wrong. So obviously setting a set blaster variable is something you want to do anyway, even if it's not required for all games. It does make some games work a lot better. And there's also a TSR program with this in DOS that you need to load for stuff to work. So that's just something to keep in mind, I guess. You know, these use up memory and stuff. But anyway, back to the originally scheduled program. This OPL3 SA utility in the control panel gives you various options for the wavetable, including 4 different quality options which are outlined in the manual in more detail. The maximum setting uses up to 32 different voices with a 22 kHz sample rate, but I'll be doing comparisons between all the different settings at the end of this video. Which of course I'm going to be playing using the included Yamaha station, which is one of these old school Windows 3 looking rack mount media players. It does provide control over some special features of the card like the Immersion 3D effect. There's also a reverb setting here which sounds great, but using the included driver diskette, this feature was completely broken. It straight up doesn't work. However, using some newer drivers provided by Yamaha I found online seems to fix it. I'll throw those different driver versions up on the screen now because they're stupid and long and I don't feel like reciting them. I probably should have used newer drivers to begin with, but there's always that guy in the comments who threatens my life with a spoon if I don't use the included driver disk. Speaking of spoons, let's see how this does on Windows 98 SE. That doesn't really make any sense, but I'm gonna roll with it. So 98 SE has built-in WDM drivers for this card, but they don't work very well and only provide audio inside of Windows without any MIDI, FM, or SB support. So you're gonna wanna just stick to the aforementioned driver, regardless of whether you're using 98 or 95. Onto the important bits though, how does it sound and what is the compatibility like? As far as flaws, it suffers from some of the same issues that the PCI-based Yamaha XG card I tested previously did. Pickier games like Jill of the Jungle or Duke Nukem 2 will have issues with digital sound effects cutting out or not playing at all. The Duke 2 intro is a good example. Notice how the gun sound effect gets cut off, but the speech works fine for some reason.
I am back.
Another quirk, at least with this particular card, is the Windows sound system modes don't seem to work. Although the driver reports resources assigned to WSS, I can't get either Descent or Tyrian 2000 to pick it up. The manual for this card doesn't even mention WSS anywhere, so I'm wondering if Eagle just never implemented it into this design, or has it disabled somehow. However, the strangest quirk with this card is the output. Now I think it's normal behavior to just max out the volume in software to get the best recordings. I even do that in modern Windows, but that doesn't seem to work well here. If the volume is maxed out or turned up too high in software, it seems to clip and distort before it even hits the onboard amplifier output. The diagram in the manual shows jumpers for switching between line out and speaker modes, which might have helped this, but no such thing exists on the card in real life. It's all very strange behavior, but something that is easily fixed by tweaking the levels. The positive side is the volume set in Windows will remain consistent even if you exit to DOS, so once it's tuned correctly, it works fine. With those issues sorted out, it has a surprisingly clean and strong output, and as expected, the FM OPL modes sound perfect. Every bit as accurate as any of my SB16s with far less background noise and hiss. It also doesn't seem to care much about what type of sound blaster you configure it to use for digital effects, with both SB Pro and regular SB modes working great aside from the issues I touched on earlier. As for the wavetable, it's quite good as well in certain games, and the reverb effects really beef it up in my opinion. Overall, this card is a great all-rounder and an absolute bargain if you can find it in the $20 to $25 price range like I did. Time for your thoughts though. I'm taking the advice I got in comments from the M-Wave video, and I'm going to provide more DOSBox comparisons this time around. So let me know what you think, and if there's a game you would like to hear on this card, drop it in the comments and maybe I'll make a short with a demo for you. Anyway, thanks for watching and enjoy the glorious sounds of the YMF719.
Round 2.
Fight.
Damn, those alien bastards are gonna pay for shooting up my ride.